You said that Ann came in and interviewed with you, and that's on, you recorded that?
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And during that interview, who was present?
Ann Rush, myself, and Carl Graham, and her son, young son.
Right. And during that interview, what was her son doing?
He was kind of all over the place, up and down in the chair, on the table, kind of around everywhere.
You think that might be distracting if she's trying to give an answer to you and trying to think about some of these specific issues?
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Did you conduct an interview with Mr. Richard Clay?
Yes, I did.
And did Mr. Clay tell you that he had drafted a power of attorney at Ms. Waite's direction?
Objection. Hearsay, no exception.
It's not offered to prove the truth of the matter asserted, Your Honor.
Hang on a second. I don't think so. I think he can answer that question as to whether or not, as part of her investigation, she had been told what that was. And
Yes.
I think that's correct. She can, so objection's overruled. She can do that.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if it was under her direction or not. I know Ann Rush brought Miss Waits to his office, according to Mr. Clay.
Is that right?
Yes, according to Mr. Clay.
No, he didn't say that. He said he couldn't remember. He thought she was by herself. He told us that in the
Detective, didn't Richard Clay in fact tell you that he could not remember whether or not Ann was there that day?
He stated he didn't remember if she stayed or not, but that she brought him.
Okay.
Or brought
Now,
her.
did he in fact draft a power of attorney for Ms. Waits?
Yes,
And was that executed by her?
yes.
And did Ann tell you during the taped interview, when you're there with Mr. Graham and the Lances crawling around on the ground, did she tell you, I'm POA for my grandmother?
Yes.
And what did you say in response?
What is the duties of a POA? I think's what I asked her.
Didn't you say, I don't care?
No, I don't believe so.
You didn't say that?
No.
Okay. Did you discuss the POA with her?
Yes.
You did? Mm-hmm. And did you discuss the gifting provision in the POA?
Yes. Yes, we did.
And did you research that issue as to whether or not what she was doing was appropriate pursuant to the POA?
No, I never heard of the gifting provision. I
All right, and you're not
turned
a
that
lawyer.
over. Correct.
You don't have any training in those sort of documents or estate planning or anything like that?
Correct.
Okay. So after you got the POA and you had possession of it and you talked to Mr. Clay, which attorney did you go and speak to and get direction on the power of attorney and what Ann could or could not do with that document?
Since I'd never heard of the gifting thing, I went to the county attorney, Richard Campbell, and Lynn Coleman, and I asked them, had they heard of the gifting?
Mm-hmm. What type of law does Mr. Campbell practice?
He's the county attorney,
Criminal law?
criminal and family.
Does he do any probate work or any estate work?
I don't know. I don't do that, so I don't know what he really does
Is it
on that
your
end.
testimony that you were relying on Mr. Campbell to go forward with your investigation?
At that time, yes.
And did you present some documents to Ann showing her what the total amount you believed she had spent?
I had asked her, did she have any idea how much money was going out that had been spent?
And did you do a summary? Did you do a 7-page summary?
I kind of went down, when I was asking her trying to find out the names on the checks, I then went down and had asked her the amounts.
I'm asking you if you prepared a summary of the money that you alleged Ann to have spent.
Yeah, I was asking her about amounts, yes.
Did you prepare a summary?
I guess I don't understand the question. What summary about what?
Does this look familiar? Can I approach
Yes,
it?
yes, you may have.
Did I present that to her? No, I did not present that to
I'm not
her.
asking if you presented it to her. I'm asking if you prepared that document.
Yes, I did.
Take a moment to look at it, please.
Yes, I prepared this.
Okay. And why did you prepare that document?
Going through the financial records of Ms. Waits, I wanted to put it in some kind of format where I could read it a little easier.
Okay. So you organized all the checks that you believe that she had spent. And regardless of whether or not they were for Ann or for Granny or for whoever, it made it on that list.
Yeah, I
Right.
wanted to see where it was going.
Okay. And you came up with the total.
Yes,
And is that the total that you presented at the grand jury?
yes, at that time it was.
What's the total on the back page there?
$203,759.35.
Now, Detective Mullins, can you explain to the jury why that number is so different from the number that has been testified here today?
After it went from the grand jury up to circuit court with the Attorney General's office, we have relooked at it, and we have actually given some to Ann Rush. Some of the items we have, I think we started in June, so this was started in February of 2010. We
That's when she
have,
got the POA.
we have jumped it up to June 2010, so anything from February to June, we have discarded, so we have actually given them.
So when you went into the grand jury to get the indictments, you presented them with evidence that you now know is inappropriate and that they are not being charged with. By about $100,000, is that right?
I wouldn't use the word inappropriate, no.
No? Well, it's not true, it's false, isn't it? If it was true, you'd be presenting it to this jury and saying that they stole $203,000.
Right.
And that's not the fact, is it?
No, I still wouldn't use the word inappropriate.
Well, did they take 100,000, 200,000? What's your theory?
If I had my way, it would still be this amount.
That's what you represented to the grand jury.
Exactly.
And that's not been the proof that the Commonwealth has put on today in this case.
Well, you'll have to talk to them about it.